Hey Red Hawk, hey Reese, how are you guys? Can you hear me okay? Hey Pedro. All right. Thank you so much, Red Hawk, for 2 months in a row. You're my beefcake best cake. You're my longest subscriber. So thank you so much. All right, so today we're gonna build this guy over here. We're gonna do an unbox too because I only opened this to check the PCB and I actually programmed it. Took me a while, but I did. I could have sworn I did it last time. Yeah, it's all good. Thank you very much. But I opened it to try and flash QMK on this board. That took me a while. I had to install Windows and everything. But you'll see that the case itself is not even open. So that counts as an unboxing as well. So let me show you guys. This is the Daisy PCB. It comes with both the PCB that is really pretty from the bottom with this blue PCB, like the blue. I like it a lot. But if you turn it around to the part you're gonna see, it's pretty boring, white, only with those Japanese characters here. So I prefer this side 10 times over. Another nice thing is that it comes with this card, which is like a ruler. It has some angles, which is nice. Some circles here. And on the bottom, you have different footprints for different stuff, diodes and whatnot. So that's pretty interesting as well. It's okay, mate. That sign on the PCB. Not sure what you're talking about, Journey Charwin, but thank you for joining. All right, so that was the PCB. And I think that the case looks pretty nice as well. It's very similar to all of those KPRepublic cases where they have acrylic on the bottom or tempered glass. And then it's a top mount. So this is going to be very nice, like a top mount 40%. Like for instance the pearl. But I'm really looking forward to build this guy. All right, so let's get to it. Okay, I think we can do the case. Oh no, we can't. We need to do it now because otherwise, how do I get the plate, right? All right. So how are you guys? What are you guys up to? I have been traveling last week and this weekend. My company had the first retreat, so we had people from all over the world. Not all over the world, but Brazil, US, and Colombia, where we have some people there as well. And it was pretty cool. just came out of shower and now some beefcake. Make sure you don't get any indigestion. So you're lubing your 65. I have mine here and they're not gonna be lubed. So yours probably gonna be better than mine. Even though I do like stock Zealios. Hey, Bad News Caps and Talon, thank you both for joining. Where are those Zealios going, Talon? Oh, I need to actually open the chat because I'm broadcasting this to. So thankfully there's no one from YouTube. I just bought some grease to lube my stabs. I've got a DZ60 with box navies for your tofu. Hey, Anthony. So not hey, Anthony. Even though he's hosting it now, he's not here, unfortunately. But if he were, that's what I would say. So hey, Anthony. Oh yes, your Atras. Is that how you say it? That looks really amazing. Let me know how they feel. And do that kit comes with keycaps as well? I don't remember if they come with keycaps or not. What you mean I'm not here? Haha, so that's a good way to know if people are lurking, right? I'm gonna start saying everybody's name. Or did someone just ping you and then you joined real quick? Huh. All right, I have a tray here that has way too many things, so I may get another one. It doesn't. I got the case from Falbatech. Yeah. Do you have the Nautilus key set? Yes, Goro, I do. It's actually here on my... Give me 1 second, I'll grab it here. I have it on my minivan. Oh, it's your dream? That was my first GMK key set. So it has a... And actually this board has lubed Zealios. All right, so let me set those things aside here. So let me just read chat. I just got the case from Falbatech. Oh, so Pedro was talking about getting some grease to lube the steps. Yeah, so did you get the Brazilian one, the dielectric grease here from locally from Brazil? So Nautilus was your first as well, Femhang. I'm not sure how to properly pronounce your name. Let me know if I got it wrong. Femhang or something like that. And for those of you that, oh, he's here. Oh, nice. So now the chat also displays things from YouTube, which is great. I don't know what I did to fix it, but I'm thankful that all the chats are now appearing on the widget. Hello, hello. Okay, so let me set this case aside here. Then we can start to check how this thing is supposed to be. So this is an HHKB case. So we're not gonna have those two. Let me just see if it matters if I change things around. So I believe it's this way. No, it's actually this way. Yeah, that makes sense because we have a, yeah. So the layout for this keyboard, despite aside from the bottom row here, should be exactly the same stuff we have here. So it's obviously this way. All right, so let me, oh, before I forget, right, Red Hawk, what am I missing, Red Hawk? So let's see. Oh my God, it's really hot in here right now. Stop. Yeah, I didn't even prepare stabs or anything, and I completely forgot about them. Let me grab some here. So I think we're gonna need two to use. The good thing is that I copied Anthony here and I have pre-clipped my stabs. So should be straightforward to put them together. Hey Ed, long time man. How are you? Thank you for joining. For those of you who don't know Ed, he's like the multi-purpose guy. He does keyboards, he does wrist rests, he does honey. So yeah, this guy is all over the place. This guy brought me some farm side honey when we had the meetup, and it's just the best honey that I've ever tried. So good. And he's also a Brazilian, by the way, which I guess you figured. He also did the wrist rest that I use daily. I'm doing great. I was telling people that I had my company first retreat, and we all traveled to São Paulo, so I had a lot of Americans, Brazilians, and Colombians together under the same roof. Had the most amazing time. The only problem was my liver didn't take it very well. I drank a lot during those days, so since I'm a Node guy, it took me a little while to get back to speed and work and everything. So I'm still recovering. So let's see here. We're gonna do yeah, and it looks like the plate isn't the best plate. Let's see how the switch, oh, yeah, at least the switches. It's not as bad as the other board. What was the board that had this, like, super loose, Anthony? Had the plate, like a super loose plate? I forgot now. I'm sure you guys know. So let me check online the layout, the correct layout for this. So Daisy PCB layout. Which keycaps? Those here? Those are stock keycaps. But those here are KB Defense. Yes, yes. They are. The palm ones, I think. Yeah, but it's only a few keys, so let me see. Yeah, they sound really different. You're right. I guess now I'll have to change it back. This is not this is the one we're looking for. So it's a 1U. Can I invert it? No, I think this way is fine. It's more HHKB. Okay. So it's going to be a 1U, then a 175U. Then what is this here? Let's see. So what do I do? Let me grab this keycap for now. Oh crap, this is a hand wired. I shouldn't be doing this on a hand wired. So I didn't want to, I'm planning to use laser on this guy. I didn't want to open it, but I guess we have no option. So let me open the space bars at least. Yeah, it is noticeable, but it wasn't before, so thank you for that. Now I have to revert back to the stock keycaps. Hi, who? What do you mean, Ed? So I'm assuming it's this one here, and maybe this one here. Hey, Cool Cable, thank you for joining us. So is this the right? Let me see, and then here we have a 175. So I'll grab those keycaps for now. So no, not a 175, a 125. Is that right? Yeah, 125. Yeah, split space bar for sure. I don't think this is right. Because how am I gonna fit? Oh, wait, it is right. Never mind me. Cheers for the laser, yeah. Brand new kit. Yeah, so it's 1U here, those two. Then Nautilus, yes. And then we're gonna have another, 125U here. Then finally a 1U, so I think the bottom row is figured out. Yeah, so this is it. I think I can go ahead and add the stabs. Those. And I forgot to take out this screen from here, I'm sorry. All right, now this is a tight PCB mount. right, so let's start lubing those stabs. And past few times that I lubed and mounted my stabs, I got them wrong. Like the holes were backwards. So I'll make sure that I pay attention this time. And on my latest builds, I'm not doing the Band-Aid mod. I'm starting to like the way it sounds without the Band-Aid. Yeah, I do. Let me show you but what I did is I did it beforehand. So I have all my stabs are come on, focus. Anthony, if you're there, you need to teach me how to automatically or manually change focus. But if you see, the pins are already cut. I did it up front. So I have a whole bag with pre-prepared stabs. That's why I didn't cut them now. Yeah, this is handy when you do like a lot of stabs. It saves you a lot of time. Oh, on the Switch? No, sorry, yeah. I thought you were talking about the stabs. I'm sorry. But I'm not going to cut the extra pins because they help a lot on the alignment. And since this PCB allows PCB mount, I think it's a win to keep them. This way we don't have, especially on this parts of the plate where you have a lot of opening. You would have to align the switches, and it would be a pain in the ass to do that. With using the PCB mount switches, you avoid that altogether. Actually, if this kit was tray mount, I would do a PCB, a plateless build. Your switch open isn't working that well. I think it's time for us to get you a new one. Look at this. This is like super reliable, at least the one that I have. It opens the switches every time. Never fails. So we need to get you a new one. Maybe I can mail you one. Let me know, and then maybe I can ship one to you, Ed. All right, we just need to figure out how to ship those tiny things. Oh, one of the legs is bent. That sucks. And doesn't make the switch pop. Okay. I have a ton here, but I can always print more as well. So I'll be glad to send you like a couple. And I'm really excited about this keyboard because I love the form factor. I like the case, and I was really glad that I could make QMK work with this, because otherwise it's a pain in the ass to program. I had to use like the Yang's page, which I don't like a lot, even though the UI is pretty decent. I'm not a huge fan of that. All right, so now let's start adding the switches. You want to make sure that the switches are really close to the PCB. And as always, we're going to do like a few rows, a few columns first, and then we're going to fill in the gaps. So here I want this guy to be a 1U, so let me see. And then this guy to be a 125U. Just double checking, yeah, so I think I need to make it like this. Let me see. Yep, so it's like this. If you guys remember, what was the board that Anthony recently was putting together that the plate was super loose? Do you guys remember? Yeah, me too. I completely forgot. Because I think I have one of the... Oh, it's the E6V2 that has that issue. And I have an E6V2. Yeah, it is an E6V2. I may do a PCB mount as well, but I think that's top mount, right? So it's hard to do PCB mount, I think. All right, so we're gonna start soldering. I guess I can give you guys even more zoom. Yeah, so I think it was the ECV2. I'm almost sure. Take this out here. And this PCB actually reminds me of a lot of the Pearl PCB. It looks very, very similar. The pads and the collar and everything. Is the PCB mount working well with this PCB? It is. Very, very well, actually. Can you see how well it touches the PCB? I don't know if it... So it is working really well. Yeah, very flush. I'm not even soldering one leg than the other because it's really, really flush. So everything should be good until you bend the leg. And I'm glad I caught it before I soldered, because I don't usually catch it. Hey Dennis, what's up? Thank you so much for joining us. We are here building this Daisy 40. That's because of how tight the plate is. It is not. That happens often. Even if the plate is not tight. I usually do that a lot. Like at least one switch leg will bend during my builds. So it isn't because of that. Okay, everything looks good. Let's move on. So did any of you guys join that QXP board? Because I hear it will be shipping soon. And I think I have another bent pin here. Yeah, I ordered one, and I'm really glad I joined because it is looking really, really cool. Oh, and it's this one, so I think it's like this. I don't remember. I have to check again. Actually, I think I got it wrong this time. Yeah, I'm almost sure it's supposed to go. Oops. Supposed to go this way instead. Yeah. Measure twice, cut once, right? And I just realized I forgot to turn on the fan. How is it fit on the plate? Is it tight? What do you mean? The switches. If you're asking about the switches, yeah, they're pretty nicely tight. I can show you when I put the next one in, but they're really tight. Yeah, they are tight. If I try to pull one, let's see, did I solder anyone in the middle? No. If I try to pull one here, you'll see that I have to do some effort to take it out. It's really tight. Oof, I just burned myself in some solder. That's great. So let's do the rest of the switches. Every time I look at those empty spots here, I want to put a switch there. I need to control myself not to. Oh my God, and now that the window is open, it's really cold here. Hey, hey there. Yeah, that's Felipe right here. How are you? Is that Telestrong? You have a different nickname on YouTube. You're sore. Yeah. So Telestron had a bike incident today. So I'm going to read what Goro is saying in Portuguese. I'm going to read it in English. So I'm going to type in Portuguese because I don't know how to write it properly in English. Just to understand. But in the plate that I have here, there is no hole on the top that make the wire, the stabs wire fit right into the plate. How do I proceed? So you're saying there's no switch openings here. Do you have a picture? If you have a picture, share it with us, like on the chat. We're gonna look into that for you. Sure, take your time, Goro. All right, let's take a look at that picture. Give me 1 second. All right, so those things here and here are the stabs inserts. You don't need the wire thing because it goes underneath the plate. So what you do is you put your stabs before you put the plate in, right? So they're gonna, you're gonna be able to see them here and here, and the wires are gonna go this way or this way depending on how they mount. Does that make sense? So I don't need, so here's what you do. You put the wire like I did. You clip them on the PCB. So you're gonna put them on the PCB before the plate, right? And then you should do something that I forgot to do. You need to test the stabs, because if I got the stabs wrong, which thankfully I didn't, you're gonna have to desolder, right? So you put them on, you put the switch, and then you put keycaps and you try them. So you're gonna put your space bar and try with the plate, right? So after you do that, after you make sure that the stabs are properly working, that's the time when you can start soldering. So you put the wire before even clipping it to the PCB. Then after that, you clip them to the PCB. Following the orientation, you're gonna see that you have like a big hole and a small hole. So what you do is you put the bigger circular thing on the large hole, and the smaller one on the smaller hole, of course. So the part that you clip is always on the small hole. Perfect. And what you do, once you put the stabs on, take another picture and share it on Discord. And we're going to see if that's the way you should do it. But remember, first you assemble the stabs, then you put them on the PCB, and then you add a switch with or without a plate, better with the plate, and then you test it. And only then you start to thinking about soldering. So after you add the stabs, share a picture with us. All right, let me just check the switches because I think we're done with soldering. Yep, we're done. All right, so before continuing here, let me just test the stabs, because as I said, I forgot about that. This one is good. So they're both good, thank God. And the way this plate is done, I actually think that I could desolder, I could take out the stabs without desoldering, which is nice. All right, so let's start assembling the case now. Turn this off. I can probably close the window as well. So this screw, yeah, now it went through. But the screw is wider than the PCB, which is super odd. So it's kind of hard to make it fit properly. Yeah, same thing this side. This is just fucked up. Let me see if I am able to maybe move this one back. Yeah, this was like the fastest build ever. I think it's because I forgot to test the steps. So that was the reason behind it. But yeah, I am surprised at how fast I forgot to solder. I finished soldering. All right, so seems like it is done. Let's do now the, and I want to get something to put this thing on top of. So now let's do the diffuser like that, and then the bottom of the case like this, I think. What did I do wrong? Did I? Yeah, I think the diffuser is outside of this. Do you guys remember when I disassembled if the diffuser was outside? Which I think makes sense because it has inserts for the screws. So I think this thing goes first, indeed. So it is like this, and then the diffuser on top. Yeah, for sure. That makes a lot more sense. Yeah, that's the way it's supposed to be. Yeah. All right, so let me just see something. I think it's a little loose. See if I can. All right, so time for keycaps. So, no, we have this guy here. This one here, and of course I want a flipped spacebar. Hater's gonna hate. And now it's time for a fresh new laser set. Never opened this guy. There you go. So let's see. Let's do the alphas first, and then we can figure out if we have room for some novelties. Man, sometimes it's a pain in the ass to take out those caps from GMK trace. And I think nice lasers, see plenty of GMKs, no love for SA or MT3. So yes, MT3, I am quite sure that Massdrop was the last, I was the last Massdrop client to get the shipment notification about the dev TTY. So I'm getting that probably in a couple of weeks. SA, I did have a lot of SA sets, but realized they're really not my thing. So I kept only the SA Abyss. And yeah, that's the only SA I have, Venice. Because I really prefer the cherry profile. And I'm thinking now that this is the first GMK set that I bought new. All the other sets I bought aftermarket. This was aftermarket too, I bought it from Gawk. But the first one that I get to open. So yeah, another accomplishment, another achievement unlocked. All right, let's take a look at those. What are the novelties? Where did I put the novelties? Oh, there they are. Let me close. I don't know if I'll still need something from here. I'm almost sure we will. Oh, I think one for sure that we need here is the control. I'm gonna put this control here. Let's see where we can put some of those novelties. Maybe the escape should be one. And then, should we do this? And maybe a little car as well. I got some R1 MT3S aftermarket and they're great for me. Now I can type properly. I can't type properly on cherry. Really? Hopefully that doesn't happen to me. Because I have a ton of cherry. Right, let's get this guy over here. Now we need one use, but I think I'll go with the alpha here so we don't have this shit ton of. Let me see. So those are alts, meaning those are Windows or Super or whatever you have in one UU. Let's see. So we have alts. Oh, we have the proper escape here. So I am not doing this escape, unfortunately, because on this kit we have the proper escape. And we have a hack. Yeah, that's nice. I'm gonna use this. No, this is not the correct row yet. We have another try. Let's do code. That's not the correct row either. Is this escape the correct row? It looks like it may be. It isn't. So we do have this enter here, which has a lot of potential. Yeah, that's gonna look really cool. We don't need this control any longer. We can do an enter. This escape here. Seems like we have a hit. We need a delete here. Also really cool. We can do a shift here. Then a shift. This turned out better than I expected because this has a lot more compatibility than my other sets. So we're just missing this guy, which is like the menu size. So let me see what we can put here. 125. Can we do this function? I don't think so. It's too big, right? Yeah. Oh, we do have this tiny tab, which I think is going to be perfect. Yeah. Look at this. Yeah, this is super cool. All right, so let me close everything and then we can test the board and do a quick sound test as well. Split space. Yeah, for this board, you better do split space because of the amount of stuff you have, like the amount of keys you have, right? So the more, the better. Nah, less keys is better. I don't mind split spaces on small keyboards. Even though I like the aesthetics of non-split, but I guess I like both. Man, I'm having a hard time with the GMK tray. There we go. All right, so let me put this escape here, and I think I have to throw everything in a bag because once you open those things, there's no way to close them, right? So let me see. And I don't think I'll be able to use this cable. Did I speak too soon? No. It doesn't fit the hole. Let's use an ugly ass cable because I don't have the other nicer one here. What do you use for a question mark on a board like this? So this shift here is question mark when I press, and if I hold it, it become not shift, it could be shift, but I use this as a function key. So that would be the actual shift, the question mark. So let me do the feet up. And let's do this. And I'm using also HHKB arrows for this keyboard. So if I hold function, O is up, L and K is left and right, and then this is down. Oh. All right, let's do a quick typing test. And I already saw that the sound of those stock Zealios are not the best, but let's do it. Terry here for, yeah, fuck that. There we go. So typing test. As for the looks, we have this underglow that maybe you can see when I bring the keyboard a little up. Let me see if I can change the effects here. Let's see. So breathing. And then we have some swirling or whatever that is. Yeah, this, and look, compare this key set to this key set here, right? Look at the amount of support this laser set brings with the shift, the enter, the backspace. Oops. Look at the amount of things we don't have here. Even the escape on this is a different row. Whereas here it's the correct row. This tab here is also amazing. So I love the fact that this set that I bought has a lot of 40s compatibility. And I think we can zoom in. So we can take a look at this baby. So I really like the way it looks. I think the laser goes well with the black as well. Are really going to use a flipped and non-flipped spacebar? Yes, I am, Pedro. This is how I use on all my split space keyboards. It doesn't, I know it doesn't look that good, but functionally for me, since I hit this key with my thumb, I prefer, and I do space a lot, I prefer to keep it this way. This is usually how I do split space. I know it's gonna, some people is going to be really triggered by this, but that's the way it works for me. What can I say? So I like this. So this board was pretty cheap. Let me look up real quick here how much I paid for this guy. KPRepublic HHKB Daisy. Thank you, Red Hawk. It's always reassuring to know you have my back. So this was the case. The case was $60, $64 to be fair. And then, so the whole thing is less than $100. I think the value for your buck here is really, really good, especially if you want to try a 40%. I think you cannot go wrong with this key. And another thing that is happening pretty soon, this guy from Alf's channel, Alf's Discord, I think he posted an IC. Let me see. IC Chicory 40. Chicory 40. I'm not finding it. Let me see here on Discord. Chicory 40. Let me see if there is a link to the IC. Yeah, here it is. You're always trying to make fun of me behind my back. I know. That's not news to me. So this keyboard here is going to have basically the same layout. I don't know if they are going to offer this with blockers. I wish they do, but I don't think so. And so they're going to have Bluetooth, the same firmware as the Daisy, only with Bluetooth. And they are wanting to target the price here at around $100 as well. Let me double check if that's too true. I know I asked this guy that is running the yeah, so this is going to be around $100 to $150 if I recall correctly, which I think is really cool. I'm going to even paste this here if you guys are into this, because I think it's a really good value for your money if you're into 40%, or if you want like a compact keyboard that has Bluetooth. So I think that's really cool. All right, we could also potentially do a quick comparison of Jolly is selling acrylic pearl now, also 100. Really? Well, I paid 160 on a used one. And I think the major difference, oh no, PCB, okay. It's really hard to find pearl PCBs, right? So this thing is a complete set. It comes with the PCB, Bluetooth PCB, the case, and it just doesn't come with the battery, of course. So I'm seeing here that on camera, those blues don't look that different, right? This is more of a purple in person, and this is like a blue. So they are kind of different in person, but the camera doesn't show it. And I can also see here how much shining my poor GMK Nautilus have. Oh, okay, so Kubo's waiting for Jolly, so I shouldn't even know about that. Yeah, they are very different in person. But what really caught my attention is the amount of shine on those keys here. My poor Nautilus. Well, at least I know now that I used it a lot. I think there is a shine on the space bar as well. I don't know if it's gonna be able to get it on camera. Let's see. There's a lot of shine on that space bar. The IC for Cam Wraith. Let me see if I can look it up like that. If not, if you could link me. Cam Wraith IC. Yeah, I found it. Let me... Sorry. Screen focus. Oh yeah, I remember this key set. I like it a lot. I don't know if I'm willing to buy another XDA set. I bought the XDA Oblique. But I must tell you that I'm really tempted to get this set. What do you guys in chat think of those? Oh, you cannot paste the web page. I think it's a GitHub restriction, and I'm sorry for that. But that's what you meant, right? Yeah, I was just scrolling Discord, and the price tag for the target price for the Chicory is going to be 120, which I think is insane. All right, but my thoughts on the cam Wraith. What's the name again? Yeah, cam Wraith. Oh, it's the cam profile. So it's gonna be like a cam profile, but all flat, right? It's so tempting. Yeah, it is very tempting. But for the cam Wraith, I think I may join this for a few sets if it happens and has a reasonable price. So quick question, who does that, this profile? Who manufactures cam profiles? Do you guys know, is that Signature Plastic? Let me see, cam profile. Oh, the manufacturer from Cat Profile. It's Keycap. Keycap, I think. I see now. All right. Keycap. It's I get it. It's kind of creative, right? Keycap. Creative. I can't speak that at all, but I think you got the idea. Yeah, and I see the web page here for them, like creative cam. Yeah, and they're gonna do all row 2 that converts cat into cam. So that supposedly that's the reasoning behind it. It looks like an XDA to me. I'm not sure if that's the case. But right? Like it looks very similar to XDA. The stream is too short. I actually need to have dinner, but since you brought that up, I do have 2 things to unbox. I have this, those 2 install sets, but I think I'll not do it right now because otherwise I'll do like a poor job in comparing them. What I can do is have another stream tomorrow because I probably, or throughout the week, because I'm gonna have more things to unbox. I don't have, for as weird as it sounds, I don't have anything right now to unbox. So these are the, I think either Japanese or hiragana. Can you guys recognize if I show you the, I don't know if the camera is gonna capture this though. I need to learn how to use this camera because it's always hard for me to get things in focus. There we go. So let me see if I can show one of the characters. So is that here again or Japanese? I think it's Japanese. Or what? I think that's Japanese, and I have this one, which is the Apple black on black. So everything is like italic, and you have like the proper. What's so thin? So I am thinking about wrapping this up now and go have some food because I'm starving. And then we can unbox those tomorrow. Let me give you like a brief overview of things I'm still waiting for, probably this week. So this week I'm waiting for the black on white EPBT from KB Defense, GMK Retro Cyrillic. Maybe the acrylic tofu is gonna be here by the end of the week, if we're lucky. Yeah, and I think that's it for this week. But next week I'm probably gonna have the tofu 65, the KBD 75, the black palm key set that I got from KB Defense, GMK Camping, and then 3 key sets that I bought from Taobao. So all of that is coming. And on top of that, I'm also gonna have another capture card that is gonna allow us to go back to using the Canon 80D. So we're gonna have more close-ups and an action cam like we used to have before I used my capture cam for the GX85 that I have on top here now. So, yeah, on top of that, we have a lot of things to build. The next thing that I want to build is either the ALF X2 or the ECV2. So we're gonna see, maybe I'll do the Alpha X2 next week, which is a very unique and nice board. I don't know if you guys ever saw that. Alpha X2. And it's MAO white as well. It's a pretty cool board. And the crazy part is those two things here are actual switches, so you can assign function to those and use them. And this board also works as an USB hub, so you can use like 3 USB ports on the back of this board. So I'm probably gonna build it next week, unless I change my mind, but I don't think I will. That's gonna be like a nice build for sure. Okay, so regarding this, any other questions, any other angles you guys want to see, anything? If you guys are thinking about getting this board, make sure you ping me if you want to use QMK, because it was really tricky to get it going with this board. Yeah, I might as well go eat something. My wife just arrived as well, so I'm gonna join it. And yes, Goro, make sure you share those with us, and we'll make sure you do the right thing, okay? As for everybody else, thank you very much for joining, and we'll see each other on Discord. Thank you. Bye-bye.